Hi, my name is Peyton Sanders, and today I'm going to teach you how to plan and teach a guided reading lesson. For those of you who don't know what guided reading is, it is a way to read with a group of students on the same book and work with them on different strategies during and kind of watch for some of the errors that they're making while reading and help them to get better at reading independently. There are a few things that you need to know before you go into planning a guided reading lesson, and the first thing is obviously you have to know your students. With knowing your students, you need to know their interests, but more than that, you need to know their reading level. A lot of districts use things like map testing and iStation to get the guided reading level of the student, the reading level of the student. However, more districts are moving towards learning records, which gives the teacher an opportunity to individually assess the student's reading level. So the first thing is you need to know your students, and I'm going to... When choosing a book for guided reading, you need to think about the student's level as well as what's going to be interesting for them. You may have many resources at your school, such as Reading A to Z or even a library for guided reading books. On the left, I have two books that I found on Reading A to Z, which is a teacher-friendly site where you can print books. And on the right, I have a book that I found in our resources library. Feel free to browse for different genres and choose what's best for the TEK that you're teaching. Next, you need to plan your guided reading lesson plan around your students and the book that you've chosen. This is a simple, blank lesson plan that's been written by hand. Some of the things that you need to include on your guided reading lesson plan are your materials, students, the book you chose along with the level of the book, questions for before, during, and after the reading, along with where to stop and think, vocabulary that you'd like to preview with the students and discuss, and then observations, which I've included a space on the back of my lesson plan for things that I observe the students doing while they're reading. It's important to make observations so that you can make adjustments to the instruction for next time. Here I have some examples of different activities that I've done with the different books I've selected to use as examples. With Jane Goodall, I focused on the TEKs, where students have to sequence and order events from a text. With How to Make Paper procedural text, I did a quiz over following directions step by step. And with Monkeys and Apes, I let the students do the main idea and supporting details box and bullets for the section of their choosing. These are just a few different examples of activities that you can use to assess comprehension and understanding at the end of your guided reading. Some of everything I've talked about with guided reading today. It's most important to know your students. Know their level and know their interests so that you can choose books that will benefit them at the guided reading table. Next, get your lesson plan, however you like to format it. Make sure to include your students, the book, the reading level and materials, as well as vocabulary to pre-teach, places to stop and think while reading, and questions to ask for comprehension. If you have time, you also should plan an activity at the end, which I showed you different examples of activities that you can do with different types of books and for different TEKs. Don't forget to observe the students while they're reading and make adjustments for next time. I hope that you've learned a little bit more about guided reading today and that you can implement it in your English language arts classroom better after watching this video.